Good evening, everyone. This is an impromptu reading. I was just sitting after a long day and was pulling cards, and I was shocked at the message. So this is going to be a quick video, but basically the message that came through was that our masculines have, without a shadow of a doubt, have a very good understanding of the archetype and the energy of a high priestess in the light. There would have been karmic partners in the past that would have created pretty significant interference and confusion around what this archetype was about, and your masculine would have been triggered by your spiritual awakening and your gifts early on in the connection. What I'm speaking about is over a long period of time. And the message tonight is that they, as the Hierophant, they've laid this down to rest. Finally, they understand that you are a high priestess of the light and that you have not abused your powers in any way. They've received confirmation over and over and over, because they were refusing to admit the truth, that their karmic partner, in fact, was the one that was doing things underhanded. As I was saying that, I looked down and the recording was 123. So we're right on track here and I'm right on track here with my message, that they were the ones doing underhanded black magic, dark magic, trying to manifest from not honest sources or not in an honest way. Okay, so if it's not deliberate or intentional, it's still unconsciously, it's still happening because they have ill intentions with their thoughts. So either way, magic is simply manifesting with intention. That's how you manifest. So, please don't be triggered by the word magic. I just need to use words to describe the energy and the scenarios here that I'm channeling. So just rest assured that nothing can be done against you or to you in terms of your destiny and your light and what you're entitled to have. Now, it can cause delays, it can cause interference, it can cause challenges, but if it does, it's meant to test you. And the divine would only allow this if the divine wanted you to learn about this so you can then overcome it. Hi, Misty. Here comes my Misty again. So I guess here, what I wanted to show you was the only card that fell on the ground was the Devil card. And I left it there, and then I kept shuffling, and that's when all these other cards came out. So basically, that Devil card under the table, when I was channeling the energy, was really that literally, like they were doing things under the table. So they were accessing services. If it wasn't them doing it, they were accessing services from other people who dabble in this dark kind of stuff to try and cause interference, to remove the divine feminine from the divine masculine's life, to interfere with the connection, to try and hang on to the divine masculine. There's a whole bunch of different scenarios that are coming through right now. But, just know that the masculine here is fully aware. Okay, he investigated and he knows that this happened. Okay, and you really embody the Hierophant and the High Priestess, divine feminine. And the Magician card was here, and the Judgment. So he has sound judgment now when it comes to the past, and the way that he tried to manifest with the Two of Wands here. That's just underneath, and it wasn't working. And this is you, divine feminine. He let go of you, and he was focused on the wrong thing, and it didn't work. That's the judgment. That's the sound judgment he has now. He's really, really, really sorted it all out, and you stand above the rest now in terms of your gifts. Because while this was happening, the divine and divine timing ensured that information would be sent to your masculine. This is why you have to stay out of the way and allow the divine to manage it, because they know best how to do it with our teams, our twin flame guides that are there just to guide the twins. Okay, it's very prescribed missions with prescribed guidance, and we have protection above and beyond because we're here on mission, on divine mission to do divine work. That's why we're afforded those that protection. Okay, and the light. So Just know that while this was all happening and it was in front of his face the whole time, but he denied it. He didn't want to accept that to be true, because the one, and I posted a reading this morning, and it was very, very powerful in that it speaks to one karmic in particular, okay, that he would have given up everything for, thinking she was the one. All the while, the divine feminine was there, and he chose wrong. And this is a repeated thing over and over in past lives, where I'm going to share that for me, I was able to understand where the divine masculine really fell heartbroken after a very tragic death of mine. I was put to death in a very tragic way, and he was left there to witness it, and was left alone after. And he thought all sorts of things and abandoned God, and he was completely devastated. And so when I started to pull away, when there were issues, even though I never wanted to leave him, I always loved him, I believe he would have been triggered. And all the while, this karmic partner was in the background because he started a new job, and this is where he met her. And she was kind of there, and he would have been triggered by her energy as well, right? The light and the dark. And in a past life is when she would have kind of been a same thing around at that time and took advantage of his vulnerability. And same thing that happened here in this life, okay? So it's going to repeat itself until the twins can sort it out. And we've sorted it out in this life. And the reason that we were able to is because I fought hard to stay in the light and to face my shadows and my fears and overcome all that pain and all that trauma from my past lives in this life, and just keep going and hang on to the love and the best way that I could, all the while letting go. And I'm going to tell you, I don't like to talk about this, but there's a reason I have to, because for anybody out there who's struggling and who's concerned or worried that their divine masculine might not understand or know, he knows now. He didn't at a certain point in time, but he knows now. All right. So just be rest assured that that part is over. And let me tell you, I don't think the conversation with that karmic would have gone over very well. If your masculine's like mine, you know, they're pretty stoic and quiet, but when they speak up, you know, they speak up. And there was a death. Okay. And there's a letting go of the burdens. There's no more concern around what any of this is anymore. Okay. He is manifesting and knows now the difference between light and dark, manifesting from the light and the dark, because that Hierophant is above this magician here. And oh my goodness, I'm getting really dark messages here that he's aware that this karmic partner wished ill to this point here for divine feminine and for the union. And this speaks to my past life where there was manipulation, where I suffered greatly. And he's ready to put the burdens, like he's already laid this to rest. It's just a matter of coming to us, talk to us about it. I'm not sure when and if this is something that is going to be discussed in the initial stages of reunion. I would imagine at some point it'll come out. I can't imagine this being the first thing, because there's a lot of other things that need to be discussed. But just know, see that judgment card there? That guardian angel was there the whole time, watching and making sure that your masculine was shown the truth on both sides. And also, sorry, back to my message earlier, that all the while this was happening, he would have been receiving guidance and nudges and synchronicities and information about who his twin really was, confirming that, yes, that feeling you had originally, that was the right feeling. Okay, so I've channeled messages around temptation. So this karmic, that's the energy. That's why that energy, we've all embodied different energies at different times. For this person, this is her lesson to learn. And this is, and I've gotten to know her through other people over time, and not because I sought it out. Information would come to me about how she would enter into relationships with men, and how she manifested those relationships. And it was not on the up and up, and it was very toxic. So because she's so insecure that she didn't understand, and she still doesn't understand what true love is. You know, anybody who does this is very insecure and very scared to be alone. So he learned about all that. And so on the flip side, then he learned over time, eventually, that you were operating in the light and that you were bestowing your spiritual gifts with the people in your life in a way that provided guidance and support and love and healing. And the message this morning was, and I didn't channel it too much in depth, but it was the difficulty that you would have had, and he realizes that, like, being alone, dealing with a lot of the ways that you were hurt by his choices. And now I'm channeling a little bit more around how you would have been hurt because of the fact that people ridiculed you. People would have tried to shame you because of the fact that you stood in your power. And that was a really big test, because that's how we've always been tested, right? Is, are you strong enough to stand in your divine truth and be authentic? And that's not easy to do when you're different, when it's different. And Yeshua, we know, suffered the worst, and like the worst, like it's one example, and a lot of people have suffered that way in terms of being put to death for speaking your truth and to stand up against what would be oppressive energies that would have been in your environment at the time. And that's the exact same scenario that happened to me. I refused to deny God in the way that was new in terms of Christianity at that time, shortly after he passed. So I was able to really go back in time and really come to understand why a lot of the things happened the way that they did, and why I felt the way that I did in this life. So just know that if you're on this journey, just please hang on to God, hang on to the light, be strong. My left ear is ringing. So that's usually just to pay attention. They just want me to slow down here. So, because I know I was speaking very fast, I get heightened and I get very nervous when it comes to this subject matter. I do not like to talk about it, I'm not going to lie. So I'm being challenged here, but this is very important. So here we see that the communication card, yet again, we're seeing that card come up over and over and over. And this is because the divine wants us to know that it's coming. It's coming swiftly, swiftly. And this is the gathering. This is the get together, okay? It's going to happen. See, he's thinking about it right now. He's at home and he's in bed and he's remunerating over all this. And it's like, what do I start with first? And look at that Ace of Cups. Look at that. That came out this morning. And in fact, I love that card. I left it up on my table here. Look. And there's Archangel Gabriel. And he's going to make sure that this Ace of Cups comes in, and that devil and that dark energy has no power over us anymore. That's the message, really, at the end of the day, is that you claim your power back by calling it out for what it is, and it's that it has no power. It has no power. And our destiny is going to come. Whew, all right. I heard the word impotence. So I feel like, for a period of time, our masculine was frozen because he was shocked. He was in a state of shock and fear, regret, remorse that he chose this person over you, divine feminine, for as long as he did, that he gave this person upteen million chances, meanwhile couldn't give you a chance, and when it's a repeated pattern like this, it's going to be more severe each time you do the go around. So this was a doozy I'm getting. And let me tell you, there's an appreciation for this now. Because if there's concerns here that he feels there's still some lingering energies that don't feel quite right, he knows that you have the answer. He's heard that you've helped other people with stuff like this. He knows. He knows. And just have faith and be strong. Yeah, he's worried. He's worried. He sees how this caused confusion for him, right? And this is why you didn't get here, because you couldn't. And see what was just waiting here underneath? The divine has been waiting to provide this new beginning. You're going to have, and this is what I've been getting, actually, I received some beautiful messages, which I'm going to keep private to myself from my masculine about an hour ago. But this is what's been waiting, okay? Once this is cleared up, this is what you're waiting to receive here. You're going to have a brand new beginning in love and in abundance. Because when you suffer at the hands of energies like this, okay, you receive more abundance if you can overcome it, because that's the karmic balance in the end, because it's a very egregious violation of spiritual law. And they think they get away with it because nobody knows. They think that they do this in hiding, en cachette. I speak French. So in hiding, in the dark. Divine feminines don't operate in the dark. I never once hid my gifts. Now, that's not to say that I was shy and I was quiet and I didn't want to really talk about it unless I was comfortable with people. That's not the same thing. This person here would have had a whole area in her home where she operated and had these all sorts of things, okay? Unbeknownst to the divine masculine, and he lived in that home for a period of time. And even participated in probably gathering items or providing money or whatever. I don't want to be channeling that any more than I have, but just know that that's where that energy is going to stay. They don't have power. Okay, look at my table. Look at all the things here. Look at all the support we have, and look, that card's all by itself down there, because it's the only area that they can operate from. Now, it's a spirit and it's an energy. So obviously, if you welcome that into your life as a physical being, then you're responsible for that. And that's the karmic balance that is going to have to be addressed. And there are very high-ranking beings that are tasked with those jobs. Okay? And our job is to just stay focused on our own lives and to have faith that those situations are going to get sorted out by the divine. Okay, it's a spirit. Only it needs to be fought with light and prayer. If you're religious or have faith of any kind and prayer is a way that you tackle it, then that's wonderful. Do that. Okay, I've used my light language for the most part in my faith, and very specific beings that would present themselves right shortly thereafter. I would have a feeling, and I could tell that somebody was doing something, and then I would automatically, in the beginning, because I didn't understand what it was, and I didn't understand why these beings were presenting themselves to me in meditation, or if I was resting. And then I came to learn why over time. And then I learned that's how you tackle it. Okay? And it can be very frightening. It can be very upsetting. But just know that, again, you have the tools available to you to overcome this. The people that do this are lost, trapped in their shadow, okay? And I know this is hard to believe, but I never wished ill. Despite that, that's not to say I didn't use curse words and get angry and was very hurt. But at the end of the day, I just continued to move forward and separated myself as much as I could to keep myself safe, and would, clear my energy, clear the third energy as much as I could, because I could feel so much and it was very hard. And those energy clearings are very important when you're facing stuff like this, when you're masculine. if you're on the early stage of this, what I'm talking about, or becoming enlightened to it, you know, until the masculine really understands, you know, they could be entrenched in that. So just, you need to keep yourself safe. Send love, but protect yourself at all times, okay? Sacred medicines are helpful as well, all right? Use all the tools available to you. See, I remember my past lives. You see that? And the Judgment card fell, and it's in the neutral position. So let's see why. Why is that? I think they're reserving judgment for these karmics until we have the opportunity here to have the conversation that we need to have. Because I believe that it's going to be up to the Divine Feminine to decide, you know, how things really move forward. Because ultimately, it's going to be up to us to decide, do we want to re-enter union or not? And this is, they're reserving judgment for those karmics until this happens here. That's really interesting. See, I'm 100% sure we are meant to be together. My kids need you in their lives. I'm fighting for this now. One more. Whoops. I know the karmic is obsessed, and I told her to get lost. Okay. Yeah. Yep. So I just got the message that there's been a lot of tears, a lot of crying, and he knows, and you know, he is speaking up now. And let me tell you that there is no way that these people are going to interfere again in the physical world. And he's speaking his truth, and he's setting those boundaries. He's drawn that line. Look at that, and that's protected and safeguarded. He isn't fighting the way that we had to fight. He's fighting in the physical now by saying, and it's not a fight, it's just saying no. You know, closing the door, locking the door. If there were keys shared, taking the keys back, deleting contacts, blocking, all of that. All of it. It's the only way the divine will allow this particular group, this masculine, to come back. Not until the divine knows it's safe. And he knows that. So he's healing the heart, and he's crying. There's a lot of tears. But the tears now that he cries for is not for that karmic anymore. It's for himself and the Divine Feminine and the union. So this is light codes for you, Divine Feminine. So just take that in. Some more here. My left ear is ringing, so they're telling me it's not, I'm not finished. Interesting. I don't know why. So if there's been black magic done in regards to crystals, just know that each selenite one underneath represents you and your partner, divine counterpart, and it's protected. Mother Mary. So again, she's coming through. Just call her in. Her light is so healing, and it'll safeguard you. And just know Yeshua is always by her side. If there's anything really nefarious that doesn't budge, Mother Mary, okay? I have had readings about you and us. Because they were confused for a long time, and they didn't understand, and they didn't know who to believe, you know? some more light codes. If you have had a hard time letting go, just allow these codes to come in, this light language to come in, okay? It'll help you loosen up the blockages within your heart chakra. Okay. The fear, they're saying it'll help lift and remove the fear. Just connect to the light, and your guides will come through like there's no tomorrow, I promise. Promise, okay? I miss our talks and hearing your voice. You see that? And it's a fresh new start here. The Three of Wands is behind, but there's no more waiting. There we go. There it is right there. That amethyst is a master healing card. Okay, you will have your wishes fulfilled here. All my readings are working together, all right? So it's really important to go and review and look at some previous ones that I've posted, because they do truly all work together. So I'm just going to shield us now and provide us with a clearing of any residual interfering energy that might have come through, past, present, near future, okay? With that amethyst and the violet flame and the holy fire, I'm going to blend all three and just blast. There we go. Yeah, okay, I'm getting another message here. I'm just getting that some of them are kind of stalkerish type of energies where they are driving by your place, or just, not to create fear or anxiety, but certainly ensure that there's privacy within your home, and, at nighttime anyhow, because of the lights and things like that. Just make sure, that you're wherever you're spending time, it's private, and just have the drapes closed, the blinds closed, just for the next little while. If you feel this, and if this doesn't apply to you, then that's fine. But I just don't like the thought of having people like drive by and be looking in, your bedroom as well. Make sure everything's nice and closed up, and bathroom as well. Okay. They can't do anything, but certainly your privacy is important. So just safeguard yourselves, okay? And this will help clean your auric field as well, okay? So just take those beautiful codes in from the crystal here. And the apophyllite as well. Ooh, that's good. That's good. All right, everyone. On that note, just know communication is coming. It's healing, okay? It's healing. All right, sending everyone love and light. Take care.